Hello, welcome to the DraftCast, the Fantasy Premier League football podcast around one of the most serious draft leagues you will ever find. This time, George is back with us. How are you, George?
Yes, very well, thank you. Glad to be back, especially at such a pivotal point of the season.
Yep, we're going to look at the league table as it stands and discuss who's dropped out of the DBF Pokal Cup. And then we're going to watch the draw video that we've been sent for the quarterfinals and make some predictions on who's been drawn with whom. So, let's start with the league table. Some pretty decent scores all around this week.
Yeah, I think, to be honest, anytime you hit 50 or even 45 points, you feel like you've probably had a better than average week, but then looking down the league table, you almost have to score that highly on a week with a few double game weeks just to stay afloat, really. I think it was good this week that Tom and Adam, the top two, had the two worst scores, just because it keeps everyone else within 100, really, down to 6th place or 7th place. Myself and Tolly are still within 100, so yeah, good week, some good scores. I think James was top scorer this week. A couple of big defender scores for him. So Coleman, I think, getting a goal is obviously not one that you'd bank on normally, but got him some significant points. So yeah, in all, a good week, I think, for a lot of people.
Yeah, definitely. And as you mentioned, the top two not doing well enough. Although Tom's just done enough he's done enough to stay in the cup, but Adam has not. And
I think Tom's previous 2 week performances were just about good enough to keep him in it. So I think it's good, to be honest. I think Tom is a good character to stay in the cup, and perhaps when we get to our predictions, we'll go over this in more depth. But I think he's developed a healthy rivalry with a couple of other members of the draft. So keeping him in it is good for all concerned.
Yep, definitely. So we've lost Adam, Will, Ben, and Jack out of the cup. Some big names in there, to be fair.
Big characters, some big names that will be very disappointed to be on the sidelines. I think going forward, there's nothing quite like cup football. To this point, my performances have been pretty poor in the last 2 years in the cup. So I'm desperate to go a little bit further, or at least stay in it to the semi-final stage. So yeah, I know it got tight towards the end, but there was a few stinking point totals. I think I was in the 20s on week 1, and then there was a couple others in the 20s in the subsequent 2 weeks. So difficult to have too many complaints, I think, unfortunately. I know Jack particularly is having a bit of a pen and anchor at the moment. His team are just all over the place. He's struggling to rely on anyone playing consistently or providing sort of meaningful points. So I do feel for him a little bit.
Yeah.
Although it sounds like you don't feel for him.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, yeah. But other than Tom and Adam, nobody's had a bad week, really. There's 5 of you with over 50 points, which is really good. Makes it hard for the rest of us to keep up.
Correct. Like I said, I think you need to be hitting those totals, especially because there's a few double game weeks flying around. You need to be up around that 50-point mark just to stay in the hunt. So times are tough. There's a lot of, I know from my own personal experience of not being very good at picking who to start and who to leave on the bench. But I think that few of those decisions really make a big impact when the point totals are as high as they are.
Yeah. Have you gone heavy on double game week players for the next game week?
So for this week, I have got, I think maybe 5 or 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 double game weekers. But in all honesty, none of them are big point scorers anyway. I've sort of thought future proof a little bit in for the cup as well. So not for this week, but for next game week, I've got a couple of Burnley players in, which goes against all instincts really, as they're bottom of the league. But they've got 4 games in the next 2 weeks, so it seemed like the sensible thing to do. But yeah, I don't think there's too many free agents out there with the double game week that would make it elusive enough to completely rip up your team.
Yeah.
I mean, the big one this week is Liverpool have got a really tantalising double game week. I think at home to Norwich and at home to Leeds. So they could feasibly score 10 goals across those 2 games. So if you've got Liverpool players, you're sitting fairly pretty.
Yeah.
But because they don't change their first 11 very often, there's not really any Liverpool players to pick up generally.
No, that's true. Yeah. Okay, let's get into the thing that we want to find out the most here, and that is the draw. So
I'm excited to see who the celebrity guest is who did the draw. I presume it was something good.
All right, are you ready?
I'm more than ready.
Okay, let's go.
Hello and welcome to the DBF Pokal quarterfinal draw. My name is Adam Waters, manager of the PK Blinders, and this is my mascot, Percy. We're going to draw the balls for the quarterfinals shortly, but a quick recap on the ball numbers. The ball numbers are listed in the same way as the group stage had finished. So ball number 1 will be the Snuggle of Booze, ball number 2 will be Bruno Fernandes, ball number 3 will be Team Rowe, ball number 4 will be Emile Pesky, ball number 5 will be the Bears, ball number 6 will be Egan Cresswell, ball number 7 expected to lose, and ball number 8 Neymar Mr Nice Guy. To confirm, the quarterfinals will be a one-legged shootout, and in case of a draw, the tie will go to penalties. So, let's get on with the draw. So the first team out of the hat is ball number 5, which is the Bears. And they will play...
Ooh, who's he got?
Ball number 1, the Snuggle of Booze.
Interesting draw. I'm trying to remember
Good time.
who Luke's top scorers are.
In quarterfinal number
Lawrence.
2, we will have ball number 6, which is Egg and Cresswell.
Here we go.
Who have you got, George? Who have you got?
And they will play at home to ball number 2, which is Bruno Fernandes. Richard loves his cup.
Ooh.
I think that could be
Quarterfinal
a
3
good draw, but I'm
will
not
be
sure.
ball number 3, which is Team Rowe. Currently top of the league standings.
Right then, who's Tom got?
And he will
It's a
play
shame it
at
can't be
home
Tolly.
to ball number 7, expected to lose.
Oh no. Oh no.
There we go.
And that leaves one final quarterfinal draw.
Expect an extreme amount of banter to be coming your way.
That is ball number 4, which is Emile Pesky. And he will play the remaining ball of ball number 8, Neymar Mr Nice Guy. That concludes the quarterfinal draw for the DBF Pokal. I wish you all the very best of luck, and Percy will see you later on in the season. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Adam. Oh no.
Fantastic. What a draw.
That is some interesting draws there. So let's dissect this. So we'll start with the first one, which is Lawrence versus Tolly.
Yeah, so Tolly's flying at the moment. I think he's easily got the top score over the last 3 game weeks. So he will go into this tie full of confidence. I think I want to have Lawrence's team to see who his big point scorers were. So he has got Ronaldo and a United defender, as far as I can see. and United have got a pretty easy home tie against Watford in the cup, in this cup game week. So I think that could potentially play a part.
Yeah, it's game week. Is it game week 27, the quarterfinal?
Yes, I believe
No.
so.
Sorry, got to be 28, isn't it? Game week 27's next, isn't it?
No, this weekend is 26. So I think we're looking at game week 27.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
But yeah, and Tolly's also got a couple of United players, so that perhaps it might be a bit of a shootout as to who performs best in those. I think, yeah, as I mentioned, Burnley have got a double game. I'm not sure if either of them have brought in any Burnley players this week, ready for that double game week. Whether that will make much of an impact, I'm not sure. But yeah, that should be a good one. I think Lawrence has got a bit of a tough draw there because Tolly's in very good form.
Yeah. I mean, they've both had a similar score this week, haven't they? So.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Lawrence had a couple of interesting, like Veltman came out with 8 points, as did Dallo. So, albeit they both had double game weeks this week. So, yeah, I think based on the relative strengths of the teams from this week just gone, I'd potentially go for Tolly. Is my prediction for that one. With Kane and Antonio as well, who both are due some goals. Spurs have got Leeds, who always concede. West Ham are at home. Antonio is desperately in need of a goal. He's got a couple of City defenders, and they're away at Everton, so not an easy tie. Oh, that is a tough one. Yeah, that should be a good one. I think I'll opt for Tolly as my victor from that particular quarterfinal.
Okay. I think I'll probably go with you as well there. I think Tolly would be the favourite considering his past 3 weeks. Because he was top. Yeah. He was ball number one, wasn't he? He was the top scorer throughout the group stage.
Yes,
so
I think by quite a distance as well.
Just whether he can keep that form up, I guess. But yeah, we'll see. Exciting, that one. All right, next up is yourself versus Rich.
Yeah, I'm going to try and tread carefully around what I'm trying to say here. But I think Rich could be a banana skin because he might be mocked a fair amount in the group, and often rightly so, I'd like to add, for some of his free agent pickups and general decisions. However, he had a pretty storming week last week, and over the last couple he's not done too badly. In fact, his last 3 weeks have all been sort of around 45 to 50, which is pretty impressive. He's had a Brighton defender, Webster, who keeps picking up points, or certainly picked up a lot of points in the last game week. And his goalkeepers equally have picked up quite a few. So there's a few anomalies there, which hopefully, for my sake, don't continue. I'm trying to see who his big point scorers are. He's got a couple of Arsenal players, and they, in game week 27, haven't got a game. So, don't know if he's gonna bring anyone in, or if he'll have to leave them on the bench. Either way, if he keeps hold of Saka and White, then that would leave him a couple of players short. So I'll be intrigued to see what he does there, and that might have a big impact, as I'll be missing Mason Mount, I think, because Chelsea don't have a game because they're in the cup final. Yeah, I'm quietly confident, and I'm sure that it's going to come back to bite me. But I think I'm in good stead.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say you're probably the favourite, but we do know that Rich likes a cup upset, knocking Tom out last year. So
correct. Yeah, so I'm very wary. I will certainly not be treating it lightly.
Right, my turn. Tom versus myself. I don't know where to go. I don't know where to start with this. Obviously, he's top of the league at the moment. He's not had the best of weeks this week, but
no, he didn't have the best of weeks. But he has got. He's got a couple of Arsenal players and a Chelsea player. So again, I'll need to see what he's going to do with his team. but you don't want to be going into this game week with nobody on the bench for the cup. So yeah, he's got some decisions to make there. The draw perhaps hasn't fallen overly kindly for him. So we'll have to see how that plays out. I think he's got Cavani and Jota both, and Jesus are all currently red flagged. I think certainly Jota's had a recent injury, so you might have to do a bit of squad management if a few of those red flags stick around.
Yeah.
But then he has got a couple of potentially big point scorers in Bernardo and Jota if he comes back fit. So yeah, that's and Cancelo as well. So yeah, that could be an interesting one. That could very much go one way or the other, I think, where like this week he's had 26, but he could come out with a 60-point week if all of his players are back and he trades in. Perhaps he might have to let go of an Arsenal player or two to make sure he's got a full squad. Whereas I think your squad is currently, as it stands, maybe a bit better set up because you've got 3 Southampton players and they're at home to Norwich in game week 27. And actually it's the Friday night game, so you could already have 15 points on the board before the weekend has even begun.
Yeah.
To put a bit of scoreboard pressure on.
But I have brought in... who have I brought in today? I didn't get who I wanted directly, but I'd made a free agent. So I brought in Havertz, so I've got 2 Chelsea players as well. So if I don't make any changes, I'll have no bench if Vardy's not playing still.
Yeah, okay, understood. Yeah, that is a challenge. Equally, don't know if Christian Eriksen will be playing football at this point either.
He's gone. He's not in my team now. He's
already gone.
He's gone for Havertz, yeah. I might, yeah. I don't know. It was a gamble.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm gonna opt for you there, not just because I'm talking to you.
Okay, I'll take that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm confident, but yeah, we'll see. If Tom's got a few red flags and players that aren't going to play as well because there's no going to have to do some serious team management. Whereas I think I can make a couple of waivers and probably be all right. So, but it's like you say, it just depends on how well people play on the day, isn't it? At the end of the day, but it should be good. Hopefully, hopefully they're all close. So
yeah, agreed. That's what makes it more interesting. Agreed. Hopefully, it comes down to the Sunday afternoon games.
Yeah. All right, and the final quarterfinal is between Jim and Max, who are right next to each other on the leaderboard as well, on the league standings.
Yeah, and obviously Max started off like an absolute train.
Yeah.
And then dropped off a little bit, largely because Dennis seemed to score every week for a period of about 6 to 8 weeks and has dropped off a little bit. But Max has probably got the most informed player in the league at the moment in Jarrod Bowen. West Ham are at home to Wolves on the Sunday afternoon, so he might be sort of relying on Bowen to pull something out at the end of the game week. Watford have got a tough game away at United, and who else has he got? Pogba. If Pogba plays, he'll be a big point scorer, I think, but a bit of a risk. So, and he's got 3 Chelsea players left. 4 Chelsea players actually, because it's both goalkeepers. So he's got a decision there.
That's a big decision, yeah.
So yeah, I guess it depends whether he wants to chuck in the towel a little bit in the league and get rid of a couple of those big scoring Chelsea players, or not. Yeah. So that's Max's team. Let's have a quick look at Jim's. Jim has got Sancho again. United have got a decent home game, and Sancho's played the last 3, so reasonable chance that he's going to play and could be a decent point scorer. But Lukaku and Tierney are both on James's team, so they won't be playing. So his forward line would be Rodrigo and Tony, which isn't overly exciting, to be honest. And so Leeds have got Spurs, Brentford are at home to Newcastle, and Tony is ex-Newcastle player, so might have a bit of extra motivation. That's a tough one to choose. I think these are both high-scoring teams generally, but the way that the fixtures have fallen might come down just to one player having a particularly good game. And looking at both teams, I'd say Son of Tottenham is probably best placed for a big scoring game. So Spurs have got Leeds on that game week, and those Leeds are often involved in games finishing 3-2. So Son could well score a couple, and I think that could be the difference. So I'm gonna plump for James on that particular fixture, barring perhaps Pogba or doing something special. But I think Son might be the difference.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I actually don't know which way to go with those two.
Don't worry. I'm sure people won't remember anything we've said. So I won't bring it back to one.
No, I feel like as soon as this is released and people know what the draws are, it's just going to be the chat isn't going to stop for a good 3 hours. I don't think.
I know, and equally because we've got a week, 8 days until the game week starts. Then.
Yeah.
It's going to be rife, but yeah, excellent, good draw.
Yeah.
I think some good fixtures there.
Thank you, Adam and Percy, for doing that.
Yeah, agreed. I did like the mascot. Very successful.
Yeah.
There might be some questions over why the mascot had its nose in the balls. Ooh. I think there might be some questions about the integrity of the draw, but I'm saying nothing at this stage.
No, I'm not. I mean, I don't think there's any. I think they all have potentially. Yeah, I think they've all got the potential to be really close games. I don't think there's any that.
Yeah, agreed.
I mean, every game's got the possibility of going one way or the other, but based on the scores we've had recently, everybody's been able to get to similar sort of points. So yeah, I think they're all. I don't think any of them are a given. So
no.
Yeah. Should be interesting. I'm looking forward to it, that's for sure. It'd be nice to not. Yeah, I'd like to do what Rich did last year and knock the leader out of the cup again.
I can see a situation where the Sunday of the game week is actually my birthday and West Ham are playing, so it could either be a fantastic birthday or an awful one.
Oh no. Did you hear that, Rich? I think you're going to have to let George through based on that.
Not looking for sympathy, but please keep that in mind, Rich, for the harmony of the group.
Yeah. Okay. Well, make sure you leave a comment down below on who you think is going to win each of those quarterfinals, and maybe who you think is going to make it through to the final based on that. But yeah, it's interesting. Any other comments, George, on those?
No, I don't think so. I'm very much looking forward to those cup draws, and like you say, I think the chat will be rife when it comes out. I'm excited to see the odds when they come out of who the bookmakers think's most likely to make it through.
Yeah.
Albeit I won't be partaking, as we've currently not got a great record in the both teams to score bets. But fingers crossed we get a bit of good fortune this week.
Sorry, George. We have the best record in the both teams to score syndicate. Everybody else needs to catch up.
Yeah. So we're recording this from our ivory tower.
Yeah. Well, especially you. You've knocked it out of the park with that.
Well, yeah. Best part of my week each week when I get that update.
Yeah.
Lift me up.
It's going to be. Are you not looking forward to the week where you don't pick one that's both teams to score? Where you get if you get a 0-0 now, it's going to be a killer.
Agreed. I've built it up in my head.
No, I'm sure you've picked a good one.
We hope so.
Yeah. This is the week, George. We've all done it. We've all picked one.
Hey, if I can listen back to this on Sunday morning and we're all what, £500 richer, that would be nice.
Yeah. Oh man, the palms are sweaty thinking about it. Like just the chances. Okay. Well, I think we'll leave it there. I think I don't have any more comments about the quarterfinals. I'm looking forward to them. I'm sure you all are as well.
Yeah, I couldn't possibly. I don't think I could overshadow the draw. That's the key feature, and yeah, it was good, very good. The Adam did us proud, and Percy getting involved as well as a bonus. So
yeah, that's what we love to see.
Looking forward to next week.
Here we go. Good luck in the double game week this week. It'd be interesting to see if Tom can reach 100 again. It looks like his whole team is like bar 3 or 4 players and not having a double game week, so he's going for it.
Well, and Tom, if you're listening, be sure to let us know, because you're normally quite quiet about the double game weeks as well.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks for coming on, George. Thanks for sitting through the draw with us and making some predictions.
Not at all. Very good fun. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah. Good luck this week. Good luck in your quarterfinal against Rich.
Yes, you too. Perhaps we'll meet again in the semi-final stage.
Yeah, that'd be good. Or even the final, maybe.
That's true. Touch wood.
Yeah. So, yeah. Thanks for listening, everybody. Please do subscribe and like the video. It does help us out a lot. And as always, this is the DraftCast. And remember, draft is life. See you next time.